about ready. Let me do Thank you, Jamie. So, as a postscript to our prelude, my favorite Cyndi Lauper story is that apparently she was singing in concert outside at a stadium one time, and a bird flew along and pooped in her mouth mid-song. She spat it out and went right on. I've loved her ever since, and that's a trooper right there, man. Didn't miss a note. My favorite Cyndi Lauper story. My name is Paul Dalzell. Good morning. I'm the worship coordinator of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Charleston. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome all of you, our members, our friends, and if this is your first time here, we welcome you and thank you for joining us. You came here looking for something this morning. It might have been a connection with others, a community, a place to ground yourself, inspiration, or a refuge from a world gone mad. Whatever brought you here, we are glad it did. As Unitarian minister Reverend James Freeman Clark said in 1866, we think it is possible to have a church and even a denomination organized, not on a creed, but on a purpose of working together. Suppose that the condition of membership was the desire and intention of getting good and doing good. We have a legacy of deeds, not creeds. Our very symbol, the flaming chalice, was created to help hundreds of thousands of refugees and immigrants flee Nazi Germany through the port of Lisbon, Portugal, by the Unitarian Service Committee. Deeds, not creeds, with love at the center. Now, please join us in singing our welcoming song. We sing it twice, and if you feel comfortable doing so, greet those around you with a smile, a nod, or a hello. The words are in your order of service and on the screen.
We welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you.
Please do check your insert for goings on here at UUC this coming week and in the near future. I do want to note that UUC's Trivia Night, also known as AKA Bob's Trivia Night, is this Saturday. Mark your calendars for February 21st. It's a UUC fundraiser, and a love donation of $15 per person is appreciated. Get your team of 4 together, and we will see you then. And I would like to invite Jalen Chakrabarty up to talk about an experience she recently had. Jalen?
Hi, I'm Jalen Chakrabarty. I go to South Charleston High School, and recently on January 22nd, I was with the Air Force JROTC, and we went to the National Guard that was at Yeager Airport. And I've been up there last year, and we had fun. We went on a C-130 to fly around. I didn't get to fly on it because of the weather. But this year, we went back to visit, and we were getting a tour around the base and everything, and then we see like a private jet that pulls up, and we're like, that's super cool. We wanted to take pictures, and all of a sudden they were like, no, you can't take pictures. And then we see like a bunch of white vans and a bunch of people holding guns and no masks on, and they were ICE officers, and there was a bunch of immigrants that were being shoved into an aircraft, what we saw, and they had like a bucket of handcuffs, and they were cuffing them up and shoving them into an aircraft. And the National Guard said, yeah, we only allow them on the base sometimes, and sorry you guys had to see that. And then we were walking down to the bottom of the hill to get some lunch, and we see a building of like small children that were handcuffed and stuff being shoved into a building. And we were like, do the ICE work here? And they're like, no, they don't, but we have holding facilities for people that break the law. And it was pretty crazy to see, and any pictures we had to delete, because ICE agents went into the building. They're like, please delete any pictures that you saw and don't tell anyone about this. And that was about it. And there's this like one ICE officer who walked past me, and he was looking at us, and he's like, you guys staying out of trouble? And it was a pretty crazy event that we saw. Not good. And it wasn't just like Mexicans, and there was Americans from all types of people were in there. It was pretty crazy to see. It was not good. And I think the ICE shouldn't be doing this. It's really bad. And they need to stop doing this. They're just following orders from basically a dictator and taking people's families apart, which is not nice. And we need to stop this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalen. For our chalice lighting this morning, we have "The Chalice is a Symbol" by Deborah Falk. Please read it in unison with me as I light our chalice. A chalice is lit in our midst, is a symbol heavens. Faith of kindness and justice. A faith that visions a world flourishing with equality for all her people. A faith that demands the living out of goodness. A faith that requires thoughtfulness. A faith of wholeness. This tiny flame is the symbol of the spark of all this within us. Our first song for all is number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Please rise in voice, body, and spirit as you are willing and able. The lyrics are in your hymnals and will also be on the screens.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
We come to this sanctuary, whether in person or virtually, to connect with our community, sharing our joys, our celebrations, our sorrows, our concerns, our peace, and our needs helps our community become closer and stronger. And that is the community we all need in these times. I have a joy for our staff and board here at UUC. They truly care about this place, each other, and you. And for all those who hold us close, and those who care, and those we care for. We have a joy. The ice is melted. Woohoo. Also, we are thankful that Maria is housed. That's a great thing. Yes. On that, by the way, look for a communication from Sarah about her current needs, and we should put our heads together as her community about figuring out a way to get her here on Sundays. Also, Dee's article was published by Clinical Infectious Diseases. Congratulations. We have a thank you to whoever fixed the kitchen sink. So Ron got the parts together and went to fix it, but it was done. Sarah has a contractor buddy that came in and did it and did a beautiful job. If you look underneath it, gorgeous. As a handyman, anyway. Another joy, yum! Lots of desserts for Potluck Sunday, smiles all around. And Colleen Anderson's protest songs were at the discussion group today. That's great. And I have another one. The weather this week coming. We're looking at a week in the high 50s, the 60s, and even in the 70s this week. Yes. We have a concern. I'll edit slightly. F, the government, run by pedophile rapists and racists. I can get behind that. And of course, for all those who are still unhoused, and for the sad hearts of those who condemn them and make their lives harder. For all these joys and sorrows, both spoken and unspoken, may we remember shared joy is multiplied and shared sadness is diminished. Let's read in unison, if you would, our covenant by James Vila Blake. Love is the spirit of our faith, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our offering words today are A Greater Good for Ourselves and Our World by Kayla Parker. We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and hard work. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. May this be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we give in love and in hope. For our offertory, we have Imagine by John Lennon. Let's take a moment to sit and breathe, to meditate, to ponder, to pray if you wish, but most of all, to sit here in community. Please relax in your chairs, plant your feet on the floor, square your shoulders. Feel free to close your eyes or unfocus them or gaze into our chalice flame. Breathe. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Settle into this moment, this space. Our meditation today is I Do Not Like the I Hate It Feeling by Albert F. Sierra. I do not like the I hate it feeling, but I have it. I hate it that there are too many good people who allow the ways and works of violence to continue. I hate it that too many people who know better simply talk and pray about justice and then believe that they have thus fulfilled the requirements of justice. I hate it that the world seems to be top-heavy with people who seek to serve themselves with pleasure that demeans human nature, with activities that waste their potential. I hate it that there are too few who strive to stay free from the pressure to conform, free from the mediocrity of compromise, free from the tyranny of approval. I would be delivered from all this evasion and blindness, apathy and self-service. Because I live in this world. It is my world, in my time. I must fully realize what that means to me and to the world as I touch it. I will then let my hate for all that spoils the beauty of the earth, all that diminishes the life of the world, move me to thought and effort that celebrate and promote peace, that honor and serve justice. Damned be conformity and compromise and approval. I should not even begin to seek, hold desire. Yes, I do not like the I hate it feeling. But if I must have it, I will use it to move my mind and heart where they can do the most good. It feels good to help others, doesn't it? I had a meeting with Ian Gerard at Taylor Books on Friday. And as I approached the door, Sam left, I saw that our own Betsy Kent was carrying a box of books toward the door as well. I asked if I could get the door for her, and she said yes. And if you have a strong back, there are more books in my trunk. I, of course, grabbed the 2 remaining boxes, closed the trunk lid, and happily carried them in for her. That mission accomplished, I stepped to the coffee counter to order. After placing my order, the barista set down a cup, and when I reached for it, she informed me that there were a couple of orders in front of me, and said, "Steve," in a very quiet voice. Being a person with, as I'm sure you've noticed, a somewhat big voice, I turned to where some people were standing and said, "Steve, I believe your drink is ready." Then, when another drink came up, she said, "Lisa?" And once again, I turned to say, "Lisa." Lisa stepped up and complimented me on my voice. I mentioned that I get paid for using it. She asked if I was on the radio, and I said that I had always thought I had a face for radio, with a laugh. She denied that, thankfully, and told me again what a good, strong voice I had. All in all, these interactions cost me little. I merely used the abilities I am blessed with, and the total elapsed time was less than a minute and a half. I felt better after helping in these small ways. I got a hug from Betsy, a compliment from Lisa, and I went into my meeting with Ian feeling good about life. Doing good, in even small ways, makes one feel good. I don't know if, like Deborah, I have a built-in conscience, but I do know I feel better about myself when I have the opportunity to help others by using my abilities. According to a Dr. Steve Taylor in an article in Psychology Today, the question of why human beings are sometimes prepared to risk their own lives to save others has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. From an evolutionary point of view, altruism doesn't seem to make any sense. According to the modern neo-Darwinism view, human beings are basically selfish. After all, we are really only carriers of thousands of genes whose only aim is to survive and replicate ourselves. We shouldn't be interested in sacrificing ourselves for others or even in helping others. And it's true that in genetic terms, it's not necessarily self-defeating for us to help people close to us, our relatives or distant cousins. They carry many of the same genes as us, and so helping them may help our genes to survive. What about when we help people who have no relation to us, or even animals? He goes on to say, according to some psychologists, there is no such thing as pure altruism. When we help strangers or animals, there must always be some benefit for us, even if we're not aware of it. Altruism makes us feel good about ourselves, makes other people respect us more, or it might, so far as we believe, increase our chances of getting into heaven. Or perhaps altruism is an investment strategy. We do good deeds to others in the hope that they will return the favor someday when we are in need, like karma. This is known as reciprocal altruism. According to evolutionary psychologists, it could even be a way of demonstrating our resources, showing how wealthy or able we are, so that we become more attractive to the opposite sex and have enhanced reproductive possibilities. I wasn't hitting on Betsy, really. Dr. Taylor stipulates that these psychologists are making excuses for altruism and says it's possible that at the very moment when the act takes place, your only motivation is an impulsive, unselfish desire to alleviate suffering. He states that the capacity for empathy shows that, in essence, all human beings, and in fact all living beings, are interconnected. At some deep level, we are expressions of the same consciousness. As several philosophers of consciousness have suggested, it may be that rather than producing consciousness, the function of the brain may be to receive or channel a consciousness which exists outside the brain, and which in fact permeates the whole universe. Consciousness may be a fundamental force of the universe, like gravity. He concludes, rather than being unnatural, altruism is an expression of our most fundamental nature, that of interconnectedness. Therefore, according to psychology today, altruism, doing good, demonstrates our seventh principle, the respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. However, if you would rather deny altruism and focus on how it benefits you personally, the Baton Rouge Clinic also published an article titled 7 Reasons Why Helping Others is Good for You. In it, they mention that you'll produce oxytocin when you perform or witness even acts of kindness. It produces a hormone called oxytocin. This hormone may not only increase optimism and self-esteem, excuse me, but it may even lower blood pressure. That makes being kind good for your heart in more ways than one. You'll produce serotonin. When you are kind to another person, your brain's pleasure and reward centers light up, and your body produces serotonin, a feel-good chemical that makes you happy. This is often referred to as a helper's high. You may be more energetic. After you help others, it may give you a boost of energy. It may also increase your feelings of self-worth. And you may have lower blood pressure. Volunteering may reduce stress and lower your blood pressure. Research from the Carnegie Mellon University showed that older adults who volunteered at least 200 hours a year lowered their risk of high blood pressure by 40%. It may prolong your life. Not only does doing good make you feel good, but the health benefits it offers may even help you live longer. A meta-analysis research published in the Journal of Psychology and Aging showed that people aged 55 and older who volunteered for at least 2 organizations had a 47% lower chance of dying early. This may be because it helps manage stress, decreases loneliness, and reduces depression. And it gives you a sense of purpose. You may feel fulfilled and empowered when you help others. And this feeling often lasts long after your act of kindness has passed. It keeps things in perspective. If you've been feeling down about things in your life lately, you'll likely find that helping people less fortunate than yourself makes you feel more positive about your own circumstances. This also can improve your mental health. Now, since originally this title had the slightly anti-Christian bias title of "Why does doing good matter if there's no reward, like heaven?" let's look at that. According to our artificial intelligent friend, AI, the question of whether we do good for a reward is a central question of ethics and theology, often viewed through two primary lenses: transactional, doing good to get something, and relational, doing good out of love or nature. If we look at the theological perspective, as in Christianity, most Christian denominations distinguish between salvation, getting into heaven, and rewards, additional blessings in heaven. Salvation is a gift. Mainstream theology holds that heaven is a free gift of grace and cannot be earned through good deeds. Doing good is seen as a response to being saved, not a payment for it. And heavenly rewards. The Bible does mention rewards in heaven for specific acts of service, faithfulness under trial, or generosity. However, many scholars argue that these aren't material prizes like crowns or mansions, but are rather a deeper capacity to experience God's joy and glory. And the problem of motive. Jesus explicitly cautioned against doing good deeds to be seen by others or for personal gain, stating that those who do so have received their reward in full already. If, however, we look at the philosophical and ethical perspective, beyond religion, the motivation for doing good is often debated. Altruism versus self-interest. Philosophers argue whether true altruism exists. Some believe doing good for a reward, like heaven or social praise, makes the act self-serving rather than truly good. Internal versus external rewards. Many believe the reward for doing good is internal, becoming a kinder person, or experiencing mutual joy. And the social contract. Some argue that people act morally to maintain a functioning society and avoid punishment, like laws, which is a form of reward-seeking behavior. For a summary of views on reward seeking, if the motivation is transactional, like doing good to get into heaven or gain status, the common view is often viewed as lower level or immature morality. If it's transformational, as when doing good because your character has changed, the common view is that good works flow naturally from a good heart. And if the motivation is gratitude, then commonly we see doing good as a thank you for a gift, like salvation already received. Next, because I am a UU, I'm going to interject an article from UU World magazine by Chance Hunter, who wrote it back in 2011. What is grace? Grace is getting more than we deserve. It's not winning the jackpot. Winning the lottery is luck, not grace. Instead, grace is finding an unexpected moment of peace while taking a walk. Grace is learning something new and amazing about a friend you've had for years. We encounter grace when we hear a song by a group we've never heard of that changes our lives. When we make a difference volunteering because we signed up and showed up. Grace can feel like a wave of relief or a spike of pain, but it always leads us in the path of more hope, more trust, more love. Grace is always there waiting to happen. Grace is very patient and polite. Grace never imposes itself. Grace can surprise us, but doesn't force itself on us. It's a willing partner and a constant friend, but it never invades, even when our experience of grace feels overwhelming. This is at the core of the universalist message. There is always more than enough grace to go around. There's no amount of good deeds we can do, and there's no magic prayer we can pray that will guarantee we receive grace. We receive grace not because we deserve it, but because the universe is fundamentally a generous place. That there is life at all is a sign of grace. That there are people like us walking around on the earth after billions of years of biological accidents, that surely is grace. Grace isn't just something we receive, it's also something in our power to give. In the early verses of the book of Genesis, it says that we are created in God's image. If it's in the nature of God to give grace, then it's in our nature too. We are most like God when we are being graceful to one another, and when we make room for the presence of one another, whatever the consequences. At times, it's hard to trust in grace. Whether it's our karma or someone else's we suffer from, the path of grace can be hard to make out. We may be tempted to despair and say that no good deed goes unpunished. We may be tempted to take advantage of the grace of others and say it's their job to provide grace to us so that we can consume it. But no one owes us grace, and grace will not be consumed. Grace, however received, however given, is always a gift. Here then is the good news of universalism about grace and karma, he continues. Karma may win the day, but grace wins in the end. The cycle of error, payback, and consequence may have us trapped for now, but in the end, grace will free us from the trap of karma. Grace is wily. It's not above using karma, without karma's knowledge, to reach us with unexpected moments of serendipity and growth. Come what may, there is always more grace. Now, you may do good because getting good and doing good is an article of our faith as Unitarians, as James Freeman Clark told us back in 1866. Or you may do it because you have a built-in conscience, like Deborah Beatty, or because it makes the life you have more rewarding for ourselves and others, or because it makes you feel good, as it did me at Taylor's on Friday, or because you respect the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, and you acknowledge our interconnectedness, that helping others helps spread more grace throughout the universe. Maybe it doesn't matter which of those reasons you do it. Maybe it depends on where your headspace is at the time you decide to do good. It could be because of one or all of them. The point is that we dwell together in peace, we seek the truth in love, and we help one another. Thank you. Our last song for all is number 305, Des Colores. Please, once again, rise in voice, body, or spirit, and kind of sing it in the spirit of Bad Bunny, if you would.
All the colors, yes, the colors we see in the springtime with all of the flowers. All the colors, when the sunlight shines out in the wind in the clouds and the showers. All the colors, as the rainbow appears when a storm cloud is touched by the sun. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. All the colors, yes, the colors of people parading on by with their banners. All the colors, yes, the colors of pendants and streamers and plumes and bandanas. All the colors, yes, the colors of people now taking their place in the sun. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. All the colors, yes, the color and the white and the red and the brown and the yellow. All the colors of the people who smile and shake hands, shake hands and say hello. All the colors, yes, the colors of people who know that their freedom is won. All the colors abound for the whole world and for everyone under the sun.
Our closing words today are Citizens of Our Communities, Our Nation, Our World by Sherry Woodbury. Let us continue to grow as citizens of our communities, our nation, and our world. Let us work to build the common good for ourselves and the generations to come. May it be so. Going to do, hold on. Go.
Okay, this is a song that you've heard if you've watched any of the Minnesota protests, and I thought we should learn it because it is just such a beautiful song that we've heard over and over, and it's called "Hold On, My Dear Ones." Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the sun. Join us. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn.
Now let's sing our recessional together as I extinguish the chalice, ending our time of worship together.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere.